So, I want you to picture this for a second.
Okay, I'm ready.
It is Memorial Day, 1958.
Right.
And we are in rural Minnesota in this town called Jewel. And Jewel actually calls itself the gem of the prairie.
Very modest.
Right. Very modest. But you can almost smell the scene if you just close your eyes. The charcoal grills are firing up in people's backyards. There is this heavy scent of lilacs in the air. You know, the high school marching band is out there tuning their brass instruments for the big parade.
The quintessential picture of post-war American innocence.
Exactly. It is absolute Americana. But while the whole town is busy pinning on medals and eating potato salad down at the Alabaster River, something incredibly gruesome is happening.
Or rather, something gruesome has already happened.
Yes. Nature is just sort of cleaning up.
It is such an opening image. It grabs you right by the throat, and it absolutely refuses to let go.
It really does.
Because we aren't just talking about a body found in the water. We're talking about Jimmy Quinn. And Jimmy is the county's wealthiest, most powerful landowner, and he is found caught in a snag of driftwood.
And the state of the body, I mean, we have to talk about it.
Yeah, the text does not shy away from the visceral reality of what the river does.
Yeah.
As it puts it, the catfish. They ate him right down to the bone.
That is just, it's incredibly visceral. It is shocking.
It really sets the tone immediately.
It does, doesn't it? Like, this isn't going to be some polite drawing room mystery where a butler brings in poisoned tea on a silver tray.
No, not at all.
This is earthy. It is messy. It tells you right away that the veneer of civilization in this town is very, very thin.
That is exactly it. And that is what we are digging into today. We are doing a deep dive into The River We Remember, a novel by William Kent Krueger.
And what a deep dive it's going to be.
Truly. That opening image with the catfish and the corpse, it serves a dual purpose. It establishes the physical reality of death in this rugged landscape, sure.
Yeah.
But it also strips away all the power of the victim.
Oh, that's a great point.
Because Jimmy Quinn was a man who acted like a king. He was robber baron, essentially. But in the end, the river and the scavengers treated him just like anything else.
Just meat.
Just meat.
It is the ultimate leveler. So we have this corpse. We have this town called Jewel that seems idyllic on the surface, but is clearly hiding some serious rot underneath.
Lots of rot.
And we have this cast of characters who are all carrying heavy, heavy baggage. So what is the mission of this deep dive today? What are we really trying to unpack for you all listening?
Well, on the surface, sure, we have a murder mystery. A wealthy, very unlikable man is dead. And the town immediately wants to blame the outsider.
Which is a classic trope.
Exactly. In this case, it is a Dakota Sioux man named Noah Bluestone.
Yeah.
The real mission here, what we're really trying to understand, is this portrait of a community that is festering with secrets.
Festering is the right word.
We are looking at post-war trauma. World War II and Korea, they are still very fresh wounds for these people in 1958.
Right. I mean, 1958 is not that far removed from 1945. The shadows are still incredibly long.
Not far at all. So we are looking at prejudice. And perhaps most importantly, we are looking at the concept of justice versus the law.
Justice versus the law. I love that distinction.
Because our protagonist, Sheriff Brody Dern, he isn't your typical detective who just wants to catch the bad guy and close the file.
No, he is navigating a total moral minefield.
And there is this recurring theme about holding back the cliff.
Okay.
Right? The Holden-Caulfield syndrome.
Yes. That is central to the entire narrative. The characters actually discuss the book The Catcher in the Rye.
They do.
And Brody Dern sees himself as that catcher in the rye. He wants to catch the innocent before they fall over the cliff into the abyss of truth and trauma.
He wants to protect people, even if it means totally bending the law to do it.
Which begs the question for all of you listening. Does the truth set you free, or does it destroy you?
That is the big question.
Let's start with the man who started it all. Or at least the man whose death started it all. Jimmy Quinn.
Jimmy Quinn.
You mentioned he was wealthy, but he wasn't exactly beloved in Jewel, was he?
Far from it. Jimmy Quinn was a bully. He was a drunk.
The worst combination.
Truly. He owned more land than anyone in Black Earth County, and he lorded it over everyone. He claimed descent from Irish kings.
Of course he did.
But he acted, as one character notes, like robber baron. He was physically massive, aggressive, and he had a history of terrorizing his own family.
There is that line from the book where someone says the catfish eating him was the only unselfish thing he ever did.
I know it's brutal.
It is ice cold.
But it reflects the community's sentiment perfectly. When he dies, there is very little genuine grief.
His wife, Marta, is basically sickly and terrified of him.
His children are estranged or severely traumatized. The town is shocked by the nature of the death, the spectacle of it, but they aren't exactly mourning the man.
They're more interested in the gossip.
Exactly. And the setting for this spectacle is the Alabaster River. The book is titled The River We Remember, so clearly, the river is way more than just water here.
It's almost a character itself.
Absolutely. The Alabaster River cuts through the county like a crack in a china plate. That's how it's described.
The crack in a china plate.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It can be mirror still under the moon, looking like pure white alabaster, but it is also prone to violent flooding.
It's dangerous.
It is very dangerous.
Yeah.
And it hides things.
It is called the Spirit River by the indigenous people, right?
Yes. And there's a deep, dark history there. The Inkpaduta Bend, where much of the action in the story takes place, is named after a Wapakut Dakota leader.
He was involved in the Spirit Lake Massacre of 1857, if I remember correctly.
You do. And there are legends of a weeping woman haunting that bend. Maybe it's a settler, maybe it's a Dakota woman. No one knows for sure.
The river basically represents the flow of time and memory.
You can try to bury the past, but the river keeps flowing, and it eventually washes everything up.
Literally, in this case. Including Jimmy Quinn.
Including Jimmy Quinn.
So let's talk about the man who has to clean up this mess, Sheriff Brody Dern.
A reluctant hero.
Brody is such a fascinating subversion of the typical hero sheriff trope.
He really is. He's 35, tall, describes himself as plain. He is the county peace officer. And to the town of Jewel, he is an absolute golden boy.
A highly decorated war hero.
Silver Star?
Yeah.
Purple Heart? He is the guy who came back covered in glory.
But that is not how he feels on the inside, is it?
Not even close. On the inside, he feels like a complete fraud.
And this is where we really get into that deep dive on trauma.
Brody is physically scarred.
Huh?
He has bayonet wounds. He has burns on his back from cigarettes.
From the POW camp.
Yes. But the emotional scars are so much worse than the physical ones. He suffers from terrible night sweats. He is just haunted.
Haunted by what, specifically? Because the narrative gives us the details of his secret.
Yeah, it does. And it is harrowing to read.
Oh.
During the war, Brody was a prisoner in a Japanese camp in Burma.
Just a brutal theater of the war.
Incredibly brutal. And while he was there, he was betrayed by a smiling local girl he thought he could trust.
Oh, what?
But the core trauma, the thing that really eats at his soul every single day, is a murder he committed.
Not a casualty of battle.
No, not in battle. He murdered a man to survive. He killed another prisoner.
Another American.
Another prisoner, yes. He did it to save himself, or perhaps just out of a primal animal instinct in that horrific environment.
Survival mode.
Exactly. And he carries the ghost of that man with him everywhere he goes.
So when the town looks at him, they see this untouchable hero. But when he looks in the mirror, he sees a coward and a murderer.
Precisely. And that deep self-loathing completely drives his philosophy as a sheriff.
How so?
Well, he doesn't believe in the black and white morality of the law anymore, because he knows firsthand that good people do terrible things just to survive.
So he wants to be that Holden Caulfield figure.
He wants to protect the innocent from being crushed by the unfeeling machinery of the world.
And this isn't just some vague philosophy he talks about over coffee at the diner. He acts on it immediately in the investigation.
Yes.
There's a moment early on at the crime scene at Inkpaduta Bend where he does something genuinely shocking for a lawman.
He wipes down the evidence.
He wipes it down, the sheriff.
The sheriff finds Quinn's truck. He finds the whiskey bottles. He finds the shotgun. And he takes a chamois cloth and he literally wipes away the fingerprints.
It's unbelievable.
He even throws a bottle into the river. He isn't trying to preserve the scene for the state investigators. He is actively trying to shape the narrative.
Because he suspects, what? Suicide.
He suspects suicide or maybe an accident, and he wants to spare the Quinn family the public shame, or perhaps he just wants to control the chaos before it infects the town.
It is a pivotal moment. It shows us right out of the gate that he values his version of peace over the strict procedural truth.
That is a very dangerous game for a sheriff to play.
Especially when the town is already looking for someone to blame.
And they find their target pretty quickly.
In Noah Bluestone.
Noah is the perfect scapegoat for a town like Jewel in 1958.
Tell us about Noah.
Noah is a Dakota Sioux man, but he's also a career Marine. He's a veteran of World War II and Korea.
So he's seen more combat than almost anyone else in town.
Arguably, he is more of a patriot than most of the men sitting around complaining in Jewel. But his race makes him a perpetual outsider.
And he didn't come back to Jewel alone.
No, and this adds a really volatile layer of prejudice to the whole situation. He brought back a wife, Kyoko.
A Japanese woman.
Yes. In 1958, the memories of the Pacific Theater are still an open wound. So you have a Native American man and a Japanese woman living quietly on a farmstead.
The town views them with a mix of suspicion and outright hostility.
And it really doesn't help that Noah had a very public conflict with the victim right before he died.
Right. Noah was working for Jimmy Quinn, and Quinn fired him shortly before the murder.
There was an argument, allegedly over Noah stealing gas, though Noah vehemently denies it.
And Quinn threatened him.
So when Quinn turns up dead, the town gossip mill at the Wagon Wheel Cafe goes into absolute overdrive.
I can imagine. What are they saying?
They're saying, the Indian did it. They're talking about bad blood going all the way back to the Sioux Uprising.
How does Noah handle all this heat? Does he fight back? Does he scream his innocence from the rooftops?
That is the fascinating thing about Noah. He doesn't.
He just takes it.
Noah possesses this immense stoic dignity. He absolutely refuses to defend himself against the town's rumors.
He basically tells the sheriff, think what you want.
There is this profound sense that Noah feels a connection to the land that transcends the petty squabbles of the town.
Because his ancestor, Dakota, lived there long before the Quinns ever showed up.
Exactly. He refuses to validate their racism with a response.
Yeah.
He won't play their game.
Which, of course, just makes the bigots even angrier.
Silence can look a lot like arrogance to people who want you to be submissive.
That's a profound point. Now, Brody isn't the only one trying to figure this mess out. We have a really rich supporting cast here.
The conscience of Jewel, as you will.
Yes, the conscience. I want to talk about Sam Wicklow first.
Sam is a fantastic character. He is the editor of the Clarion, which is the local paper.
But physically, he's a walking testament to the horrors of the war.
He lost a leg at Iwo Jima. His face is badly scarred, which he tries to hide behind a thick beard.
And a beard in the 50s. That is a statement.
It really was.
Yeah.
Unless you were Ernest Hemingway or a beatnik, you didn't have a beard.
So he's an outsider in his own way.
Very much so. Sam is the truth seeker. While the town wants a comfortable lie, this narrative that the savage killed the civilized man, Sam, is actually writing a history of the Sioux Uprising.
He wants to tell the true story.
Not the whitewashed version the town prefers. And he uses his newspaper to challenge the mob mentality.
He writes editorials defending Noah's right to a fair process when the rest of the town is practically ready to grab pitchforks.
He's incredibly brave.
And then there's Charlie Bauer. She is actually the narrator, right? Looking back on everything.
Yes. The framing device of the book is Charlie writing the epilogue at age 90. But in the main story, she is a retired lawyer, a female lawyer in the 1950s.
Tough as nails.
She smokes cigars. She drinks Johnny Walker Black.
My kind of lawyer.
She was unloved by her father, considered a massive disappointment because she wasn't a boy and she wasn't traditionally pretty.
And that rejection shaped her.
It made her a fierce fighter for the underdog. She agrees to represent Noah Bluestone when literally no other lawyer in the county would touch the case.
She sees the injustice and she charges right at it.
And we can't forget Connie Graff, the old guard.
The aging deputy.
The World War I veteran. He is the moral anchor for Brody Dern.
How so?
He recognizes that the law and justice are not always the same thing.
Yeah.
But unlike Brody, who manipulates the evidence and plays God, Connie operates with a quiet, protective presence.
Doesn't he camp out?
He literally camps out near the Bluestone farm to protect Kyoko from the town vigilantes. He sees the humanity in everyone.
So we have set the stage. We have the victim, the suspect, the investigator, and the defenders. Now, we really need to get into the nitty-gritty of the crime itself.
Because things do not add up at that crime scene.
Not at all. As Brody investigates, after he has done his highly illegal initial wipe down, he starts to realize the whole tableau is completely wrong.
Quinn was found naked.
Right. Why would a man go fishing, get heavily drunk, and then strip completely naked before shooting himself with a shotgun?
It makes no sense. It implies he was either going swimming, which is highly unlikely in the dark while completely plastered, or something else entirely was happening.
And the blood evidence is weird, too.
Very weird. There's a massive pool of blood on the riverbank.
Which suggests he died there.
Or at least bled out there. But his body was found in the river, caught in the driftwood downstream.
If he shot himself on the bank, how did he get into the water?
Exactly. A dead man doesn't crawl into the river.
And this is the wild part, there is the pig's blood.
This is the detail that really complicates everything for Brody. He discovers a secondary blood spill near the scene.
And it smells different.
He realizes it is animal blood. Pig blood.
And who raises pigs in Jewel?
Noah Bluestone.
That is the damning link.
It physically connects Noah's truck or his equipment to the crime scene.
Brody realizes this implies Noah was there, maybe moving the body.
But again, Brody hides this knowledge initially.
Why? Why not just bring him in?
Because he is terrified that if this pig blood detail gets out, the town will lynch Noah before a trial can even happen.
Because the town is already at a boiling point. The Wagon Wheel Cafe is basically rumor central.
It is. Rumors turn into hard facts instantly in a small town.
People are saying Noah killed Quinn because of bad blood from the 1800s, or because Quinn fired him.
And the tension quickly escalates to physical violence. Vigilantes actually attack the Bluestone farm.
They shoot the Bluestone's dog, don't
They
they?
do. It is ugly. It is a full-blown mob mentality taking over Jewel.
Now, amidst all this dark adult conflict, we have this subplot involving two teenage boys.
Scott Madison and Del Wolfe.
This felt very Stand By Me when I was looking into it.
It really is a classic coming-of-age, loss of innocence arc.
Tell us about Scott.
Scott is fatherless. He has a blue baby heart condition. So he's physically frail, but he's very spirited.
And Dill.
Del is the bad boy from the wrong side of the tracks, a place called Creasy Hollow. He is horribly abused by his stepfather.
And both of these boys are obsessed with war movies.
I idolize the glory of battle. They think war is this noble, clean thing.
But they are about to get a massive dose of reality.
They're the ones who actually find the crime scene at Inkpaduta Bend before the police fully process it.
They see the blood on the ground.
And suddenly, violence stops being a movie. It starts being real and terrifying.
They also witness the true villainy in the town, and they realize it isn't Noah Bluestone.
No, the real villain is Del's stepfather, Tyler Creasy.
Creasy is a real piece of work.
He is the personification of the town's ugly id. He is racist, abusive, violently drunk.
The boys see him for what he really is.
There is also this pivotal scene for the boys where they go tubing on the river, a classic summer activity, right?
Yeah.
But Scott, the boy with the weak heart, has to save his girlfriend from drowning.
A huge physical manifestation of his bravery.
It proves to himself that he is not just a sick kid. He has courage, and it sets him up for the courage he's going to need later.
Which brings us right to the climax. Everything converges at Inkpaduta Bend.
The place of ghosts.
It's the night of the moon.
It is a full moon, so the river is glowing pure white. The boys are camping out there, hiding out, basically playing at being soldiers.
But then Tyler Creasy arrives.
He is drunk, he is armed, and he is hunting.
Hunting the boys.
He is looking for Noah, or maybe just looking to destroy something. Anything.
And Noah actually shows up.
Noah arrives to stop Creasy. He knows Creasy is a danger to the boys and a danger to the truth.
So a confrontation ensues.
It is completely chaotic. Creasy shoots Noah.
Oh, wow.
Del, the abused stepson, intervenes to try and save Noah. And in the struggle, Tyler Creasy falls into the river and drowns.
But it is too late for Noah.
It is. Noah dies right there on the riverbank.
It's a tragic hero's death.
He wasn't the savage villain the town made it out to be. He was the protector. He literally died saving those boys.
And when Brody finally
He
arrives,
finds the boys and he finds Noah's body. And it is a moment of just devastating realization for Brody.
because the law completely failed Noah Bluestone.
The legal system, the social system, it all actively targeted him. But in his final act, Noah achieved his own form of justice. He stopped the true evil in town.
So Noah is dead, Creasy is dead,
Good.
but we still do not know who killed Jimmy Quinn.
No, we don't.
Because it wasn't Noah, was it?
No. And this is where the twists start to hit really hard.
Okay, let's unpack the revelation. Who killed Jimmy Quinn?
Brody finally uncovers the truth. It wasn't the outsider. It was the person closest to Jimmy,
It was his wife, Marta Quinn.
his wife. The quiet, sickly woman everyone pitied.
But why? What was the motive?
The motive wasn't greed, and it wasn't even decades of hatred, though that was there. It was immediate protection.
Protection of who?
Jimmy was going to attack Kyoko Bluestone.
Kyoko. Noah's wife.
Yes. Kyoko was helping out at the Quinn farm. Jimmy, being the absolute predator that he was, cornered her. He was going to rape her.
And Marta saw this.
Marta saw it happening. She knew exactly what it was. She grabbed the shotgun and she shot her own husband.
It was defense of another person.
Pure defense.
Wow. So Noah didn't kill him,
Yeah.
but he was deeply involved in the aftermath.
Noah and Kyoko covered it up.
Why not just call Sheriff Brody? Say it was self-defense.
Because they knew, they absolutely knew, that in 1958 Minnesota, a German woman, which Marta was, and a Japanese woman, Kyoko, would never be believed.
Not over a wealthy white man?
Never. The law would not protect them. The law would crush them.
So Noah took charge?
He used his truck, and yes, he used the pig blood from his farm slaughtering to move the body to the river. He staged the suicide or accident.
He intentionally took the heat.
He let the town think he was the savage killer to save Marta.
That is just an incredible sacrifice. I mean, why would he do that? Just because he is fundamentally a good guy?
Right.
Or is there more to it?
There is one more massive twist.
Pit me.
The secret lineage. Noah Bluestone is actually Patrick Quinn's biological father.
Wait, Patrick Quinn? Jimmy and Marta's son?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Years ago, before the war, Marta and Noah had a brief, deep connection. Jimmy never ever knew.
So Noah returned to the farm after the war, took the abuse from Jimmy, took the suspicion from the town, all to be near his son.
That intense loyalty to the Quinn family wasn't about Jimmy at all. It was always about Patrick and Marta.
That completely recontextualizes his entire silence.
Doesn't it?
He wasn't just being this stoic, noble, native archetype. He was actively protecting his son's mother and his son's future.
Exactly. If the truth came out, Patrick would be deemed illegitimate in the eyes of that cruel town. Marta would hang as a murderess.
The family would be totally destroyed.
So Noah chose to absorb all of the town's hatred to keep his family intact.
So Brody learns all of this. He has the absolute truth. He has the solution to the mystery.
Yes.
What does he do?
This is Brody's defining moment in the story. It's his ultimate Holden Caulfield moment.
He has to choose between justice and the law.
He looks at all the suffering. He looks at Marta, who only acted to stop a horrific assault. He looks at Patrick, who is completely innocent.
And he decides
to bury it.
He doesn't arrest her?
He does not. He actually destroys the remaining evidence. He literally burns down the shack where evidence might be hidden.
He burns it down.
He decides that justice is more important than the law. Arresting Marta would serve the legal system, sure, but it would destroy several lives that have already suffered way too much.
So he acts as judge and jury to preserve the peace of the community.
That is a heavy, heavy decision.
I mean, as a listener or a reader, you are cheering for it. You want Marta to be okay. But legally, it is wild.
It creates a fascinating moral ambiguity. Was he right to do it?
The narrative seems to suggest that sometimes mercy is a higher form of justice.
But it always comes at a cost. Secrets rot you from the inside out.
Speaking of costs, let's look at the aftermath for these characters. What happens to everyone after this explosive summer?
It is a mix of tragedy and peace, really. Let's start with Del Wolf.
The boy obsessed with war.
He actually goes to Vietnam and dies.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
It is a tragic irony. He finally got his war, and it completely consumed him. Scott, his friend, visits his grave annually.
And what about Kyoko?
She moves away from Jewel. She remarries. She lives a very full life. But the war reaches her eventually, too.
How so?
She dies of leukemia, likely from radiation exposure from the Nagasaki bombing.
The past is literally always there, hiding in the blood.
Sam Wicklow,
The editor.
he writes his book. He calls it Spirit River.
I think he tells the story.
He tells the fictionalized truth. He becomes a celebrated author.
That's brilliant. He uses fiction to tell the truth that the town couldn't handle as fact.
And finally, Charlie Bauer, our narrator. She ends up sitting on her porch at 90 years old, drinking her whiskey, just reflecting on it all.
And she buys a grave plot next to her unloving father.
Right. Yes. A final act of forgiveness. She decides she isn't going to carry the hate into the grave with her.
That brings us to the end. The outro. The river we remember.
The title really says it all. Memory is fluid. It's exactly like water.
We remember the versions of the past that allow us to live with ourselves.
There is a line in the epilogue that summarizes it perfectly. It says, "Our lives and the lives of those we love merge to create a river."
It leaves us with such a provocative thought. For all of you listening right now, think about this. Does hiding the truth constitute a good act if it brings peace?
Or is just another layer of rot beneath the surface?
Brody Dern believed in the former. He chose mercy over the letter of the law. But the river remembers everything eventually.
It is a powerful story about how we navigate the very deep currents of history, trauma, and love.
Well, you have certainly given us a lot to think about today. If you are listening, maybe take a close look at your own town's history. What is buried in your river? Thanks for diving deep with us.
It was an absolute pleasure.
See you next time.